great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling
Especially,
today?
great, dude. When I see you smile, everybody needs to smile. No, dude, your
Yeah.
energy is just contagious.
Thanks, man. So yeah, but whilst we wait for some people to come in, I would love you to just quickly run through your crypto journey so far, and then maybe what got you into Titan X. So start off your crypto journey, and then kind of what led to Titan X
Sure.
after.
Yeah, I started my crypto journey with mining. Actually, I had no
Okay.
idea what crypto was. I was a gamer. I was old enough to adopt the first PC. So I literally went from the 286, 386, 486. Then we got MMX technology, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, the whole nine yards. I've been
What
building my
year?
own.
What year was that?
Oh, my Lanta. I built my first PC when I was 17. I'm 48 now. So that's 21 years ago.
Okay. 48. You do.
So
Yeah, you look good for 48.
thanks,
You look
man. Yeah,
48.
I hear that shit a lot. Yeah, you are what you eat, man. Be healthy and you won't age. And there's another
Okay.
rule for not aging, and that's not celebrating your birthday.
Really?
Yes, it's mind over matter. Your brain is way more powerful than everybody could imagine. So if you celebrate every single year, telling your brain you're getting older, every year you get
Yeah.
older. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So don't celebrate your birthday. I literally have to ask. Probably I'm not even 48 if I ask my wife how old I am actually am, because I really have no idea, man. So yeah, no, I started actually with mining. I was building my own game PCs pretty much every 2 or 3 years. And then the whole Ethereum mining came. And that was such a nice piece of technology. Wait a minute, I can actually make virtual money with my game PC. That is interesting. Not
Yeah.
really doing it for the money, but more literally for the technology. And then 2017 came around, and what I was mining was worth a lot of money. And I was, wait a minute, I might be onto something here. So I started investing more and more and building bigger mining rigs. And then all of a sudden, it was worth nothing. Just
Yeah.
out of the blue, bear market came around, it was worth nothing. And I literally picked up everything, threw it in my shed, and didn't look at crypto for 2 years.
Really?
That was my biggest mistake ever.
So was
Leaving
that
crypto in 2018, yes.
2018 until 2020?
Until 2020, yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019 almost. I met Adam from Fibra Finance, I think in 2019-ish, 2020. I'm not really sure. Probably mid 2020. I'm not really sure, but thereabouts. And then he literally forced me into Hex. He was. I'm not even joking. Everybody was saying Hex was a scam, yada yada yada, and he was literally forcing me, dude. You need to get into this Hex thing. And there's a thing that if you stake now until big payday, you will get twice the money back. And I'm like, yeah, man, where have I heard this before? You send me one, I'll send you two. Where, in which reality is that not a scam?
Yeah.
So I literally went into Hex thinking it was a scam. And then big payday came and we dropped 90%. And I remember calling him up. Didn't I tell you, motherfucker? This can't be real, man. And
Yeah.
then literally within a week, it retraced back to where it came from in 2 weeks. So we did a
Really?
90% drop off the big payday. And within 2 weeks, we were right back where we started. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Give him a call back. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. I said, dude, you might have found something special here. If something can retrace a 90% dip in 2 weeks, yeah. And then we went falling and started following actually Richard Hart and learning from him and the ethos and the first principles and the yada yada yada. And before you know, you're in a cult, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what do you feel about at the moment with what's going on with Richard Hart? Because obviously everything that's going on with Pulse Chain is kind of low at the moment because there's uncertainty about what's going to happen to him in the future. What are your thoughts towards that at the moment?
My thoughts are the same exactly as when we started with the SEC. The whole thing. We all know they don't have a leg to stand on. I've learned throughout history that it might be really beneficial for you to stand up for what you believe in, and how you say that, believe in what you know, and believe in what you think, and don't be afraid to stand up for it. And throughout history, those underdogs usually prevail really, really big. And as an example, I've went through the whole .com bubble. If you ask a boomer right now, they will all tell you that the .com bubble was the biggest financial crisis there was. It wrecked the whole world, yada, yada, yada. What rules the world right now?
What rules
.com,
the-
Google, yeah, Facebook, Twitter. .com
Yeah.
rules the world. But if you ask a boomer right now, they think it's the biggest scam in the world, not realizing that the whole world is now ruled by .com. Crypto will do exactly the same. And I think Richard Hart is going to be a pinnacle in it. We see, or people from the outside see Richard Hart as that joker and that cult leader, and it's only a hex for him, but they don't realize he's literally fighting for crypto in general. He's making sure that regulation is set. And once this narrative shift comes, could be this year, could be next year, could be 5 years. Once this narrative comes that he's going to be the savior and the ground, or the foundation of crypto, what do you think is going to happen when that narrative comes?
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Nobody believed Google. Nobody believed Amazon or Jeff Bezos. Look at the chart now.
Yeah. It's such a good, yeah. It's such a good point. Do you think it has more of an impact than just what's going on with Bitcoin? Do you think Pulse Chain and everything that Richard Hart's doing is bigger for crypto than, and more complex than everything that's going on just
100%.
with Bitcoin? Okay.
Yes, 100%. Richard Hart was pretty clear from the beginning. We want to have it immutable. You want to have it decentralized. You want to have no middleman. You don't want to have, you are the sole person that is responsible for your own finance. And he's really big on privacy. If that's all the case, and Pulse Chain is his road or highway to create it on, you bet your ass it's going to be private, it's going to be immutable, it's going to be protected, all the 9 yards. People might not see it right now, but it will come.
Okay, so this might be a difficult question, but what are you more bullish on, the Titan X ecosystem or the Pulse Chain ecosystem?
That's a hard one.
Would you say it's quite even?
Because the value comes from the community, and they're both really big in community, and Titan X is still in the growing part. We think we're growing and that we are the shit, but trust me, 90% of crypto don't even know what Titan X is.
Yeah.
I mean, Ivan on Tech can't even be told what Titan X or how the ecosystem works. That's how early you are.
Yeah.
It's one of the brilliant minds in crypto and on Twitter doesn't even realize how this ecosystem works. What Jay created was pretty special. Being able to create somewhat of a layer one, but it's not a layer one, just by pure consciousness from the people that he pretty much groomed or raised to think a certain way. And then you create a cult-like community, or I don't even want to say cult-like, but it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't make up the words and the meaning and the definitions of it. So yeah. It's a cult. I mean, yeah, call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Yeah. Do you think it has potential to be as big as Pulse Chain then? Because obviously Pulse Chain is huge. It's got so many users.
Yes.
It's known by pretty much everyone in crypto. Do you think Titan X has that potential?
If we keep this up with the community the way it is right now, and we are constantly engaging and foremost inviting, so people want to join you, it could outperform Pulse
Yeah.
Chain simply because we are the ones that give value. And at this stage of the market, the sentiment isn't really in Pulse Chain. That sentiment is in Titan X. And I'm
Yeah.
seeing exactly the same thing as I saw in the beginning with Hex. It did not matter what happened. The price could drop 80%. The whole world could spit you out saying to you that you're a retard and you're out of your mind. We
Yeah.
just kept on partying. And that's the reason why people just come in. If you go to a theme or if you go to a festival and you got 15 party tents and 14 of them are a shit show and one is a party, which tent you gonna go to?
Yeah.
It's the
So
same
true.
with this. There's gonna
Yeah.
be a tidal wave of people and money coming into crypto, and we need to make sure that we're having a party because these new people that are coming out of the bus have no ID. All they see is a loud community having a blast. Oh, I'm gonna walk that way. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So if we can keep up what we're doing right now, I think we could outperform it. Yeah, I truly believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been in crypto for that long, but it definitely seems the momentum that we're gaining, all the new projects that are coming out constantly. It seems like
Mhm.
for how many projects and infrastructure we have, it's just waiting on the users to come in. And I think they
Yes.
will. I think Green Candles obviously is the best marketing
Yes.
for anything. So yeah, I just can't wait for that to happen. And it does feel like we are
Okay.
so it does feel like we are so early. Can you
Yeah.
quickly run through your story into Titan X and how you discovered Titan
Sure.
X?
Well, first off, I got the DM of Jake as well. Went through it. Had a really long conversation with Jake about it. I don't even think he remembers it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't even remember my personal account. But back then, I was so busy trying to build on Pulse Chain or to keep the community together, to be excited, yada yada yada. So at that point, I was just brutally honest. I said, dude, I love your ID. It looks freaking amazing, but I'm just too busy. I can't take anything else on top of it. And then
Yeah.
we got the white paper. I talked to people in my sort of like Brandon, Adam. We all went over the white paper, and it's like, dude, this is something special. And to be honest, I could not believe that he was the one that came up with it. I truly did not. I was like, how the hell did he came up with this? But yeah, you can't deny something that is good. So we started investing pretty much day one. Again, shout out to Vibra Finance, Adam. He literally forced me, dude, start making max miners. I said, dude, nah, let me look into this, see how, dude, start making miners. So I'm still happy. He's the guy that can just force you into things. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we kept an eye on it for the whole duration of the inflationary period of Titan X. We spoke of it literally every Wednesday. We have no, I'm not even going to say private good. It's an open group. It's called Dollar Riot. It's something that we set up with Brandon, or that Brandon set up. And we just have a nice conversation every Wednesday night. And it comes up every time. And we
Yeah.
were, watching the chart like a hawk. Like, okay, this is a good moment to start DCAing. This might be the low, and yada yada. And then the momentum came back, and the community pretty much woke up, and we were like, yeah, this is a place where we want to build. What we actually wanted to do on Pulse Chain, but unfortunately could not because everybody was ready with with their machine guns, waiting for new people to come on. It's literally mind-boggling. I'm not even gonna lie. I was literally disappointed that so many good people truly tried to support the ecosystem and build and create new engagement. And all the people that are already in the ecosystem did was start loading their guns. It literally made no sense. So, and then we got to Titan X, and that was so freaking refreshing the way people were taking you in with open arms and were willing to share their thoughts and give their opinion, honest opinion, like constructive criticism. I loved it. And
Yeah.
we were like, yeah. And the only reason why we were pretty much as successful as we were is because of the community, because everybody was willing to speak their mind, give constructive criticism. We were obviously willing to listen. And then we started building. And yeah, here we are now.
Yeah.
Really
Which is
mind blowing.
yeah, it's crazy. So would you say it's quite polar opposite to what was happening when you wanted to build on Pulse Chain? Because it sounds like the momentum was going in the opposite direction. Things were going down. People had bad sentiment,
Yep.
obviously negative thoughts. I think because we saw momentum in Titan X, it kind of gives everyone that positive kind of feeling towards new projects coming in and stuff. Do you think it has been that experience? It's kind of been completely opposite to your experience on
Yes.
Pulse Chain? Yeah.
What you can see here is how important a founder can be and how powerful their words are. So Richard Hart was pretty clear from the beginning. You don't have to build on Pulse Chain. I only build Pulse Chain for Hex. I don't care what you do. To be honest, I don't even want you to build on Pulse Chain.
Okay.
Well, this is what the community took away from him and run with it, without realizing that it's really important to build on it. And I've given this analogy before. I truly see Pulse Chain and Titan X as a theme park. You come into the theme park, not everybody runs to the same attraction. Everybody has their own opinions, their own taste, their own character. Everybody's attracted to something else. But in the end, it doesn't matter which attraction you go to, you support the theme park. Titan X is exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter if you like Phoenix or Scale or Baby Dragon X or Dragon X. It doesn't matter. If you like something, support what you like, otherwise it will go away. While you are supporting whatever protocol is built on Titan X, you support Titan X, the theme park. Let's grow this fucking theme park and make it as inviting as possible so everybody wants to join you.
Yeah. Do you think that was Jake's vision when he started? Because obviously he was in Pulse Chain as well. And maybe he saw that, Richard Hart wasn't being as supportive to new builders coming in. Maybe that's what carried him to really incentivize builders to come into Titan X.
I mean, I can't speak for him, but it sure does look that way.
Yeah.
It sure does look that way. I mean, it's clear he wasn't born yesterday. He has a brilliant mind, and talking to Jake, I could hear that he's read a lot of books. He knows how things work and how human psychology works, and that's a really big thing you need to. He's literally the change he wanted to see, and that's an ethos that died off a long time ago. People were no longer willing to fight for what they believe in and for what the change they want to see. Unfortunately, everybody is now so dependent on the system and controlled by the system that it's actually a bit sad. And I praise him for it.
Okay.
Not just for trying, because everybody can try. The problem is 99% of the people give up in the first 3 weeks. The fact that he's still here doing his thing every single day, keeping up to his own set ethos, just demands respect. That's how I see it. And I don't have envy or jealousy to any person. I don't adore people. I don't idolize people, but I can respect the heck out of you. So you could be the biggest asshole, but if your accomplishments are respectful, what else can you do than have respect for the accomplishments that you achieved?
It's a really good point. And I think maybe people in the ecosystem take it for granted how big of an impact Jake is having by hopping on all the streams, being so supportive, because he's kind of setting this foundation for everyone else. Like, he just joins streams randomly or did those 12 hours for the yearly. I don't see any other founder that could, like, his other option is literally before he was retired, basically. he could be out on some beach living, doing whatever, but he chooses to do this day in, day out. And I think
Correct.
that's like the best foundation for builders to come in, because everyone's there's this bubble of support that everyone's kind of going off. And I think, yeah, building on Titan X is kind of joining that bubble, which, yeah, is so good. But I would like to kind of talk about that. So with Morpheus, who came up with the idea? What kind of formed it, and what led to ultimately building it?
Well, we started off with building just we wanted to create a foundation. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If you want to start building, you got to start with the foundation. It's the hardest part to get set up. Once you have your foundation, then building gets easier and easier. So once we really had that notion, okay, we want to build here, we gathered up with the people that have been close to us for a long time. We've been together for years and years now. And the Morpheus team is basically Chris DeVers, Guga, Fibra from Adam from Fibra, and then Brandon and Brandon's company, and me. And we went together and we said, okay, we want to build here. What should we do? And then the brilliant mind of Chris came to the surface, and he was like, dude, you got to do something in the matrix. You got to call it Morpheus. We're going to take the memeable narrative. So Morpheus actually came from Chris DeVers. Shout out to you, brother.
Nice.
It was amazing. And then when you have brilliant, or I don't want to say brilliant mind, but smart people in general that have the experience and have seen a lot of things before, come together and start building and theorizing, and also have a community already backing them. So they already have a history. We've been doxxed for years now. We've been around the crypto bear market for the past 3 years. We never went away. So that's really important to have the support. And at the end of the day, we can come up with the most brilliant ideas. If there's nobody supporting it, you literally have nothing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the success of Morpheus is you guys. Without you guys, we were literally nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The community behind Morpheus as well is, you guys have done really well. Like, there's this huge inflow of people that I think really, really support it. I think what most people are excited about is how you guys talk about the future of Morpheus. Like you said, you want to build a base to build on.
Yes.
Is there anything you can kind of talk about with the roadmap of where Morpheus is going?
Sure. I mean, the primary thing what we're focusing on right now is the aggregator.
Okay.
We're doing our best to have it done this year. I think Brandon already hinted to it that it would be a really nice Christmas present. Yeah. So I'm still hoping that he's gonna make it before Christmas. That will be amazing. That will be the first next stepping stone to make the whole system more efficient, more relatable, more accessible, all those things. It's not gonna be a really big thing. I mean, if you're familiar with engineering or any of those things, getting to efficiency, it starts really quick, and the further you get along, the efficiency get harder and harder and harder. You got to put way more energy and money into it just to get 1% out of it. And the way the Titan X ecosystem is right now with the ethos, the way Jake set it up, it's already so freaking efficient. It's just getting these last percents out of it. And I think an aggregator is a really good starting point to do so. I believe Mike Dean is also working on something like it. So if we can keep these synergies up and making sure that everybody keeps on working together and implementing each other's ID and making sure that the liquidity routing is correct and that everybody benefits from the whole ecosystem, I only see one outcome, to be honest.
I think an aggregator could be huge, like genuinely huge, because it's like a constant burn. And if you do it right, it could be, an alternative for people to use. They save money, like everyone wins.
Yes.
Have you guys kind of dialed in the tokenomics behind it? Because I know they were still up in the air about what exactly it's going to be and where it's, Do you want to?
Yeah, we'll keep it there for now. We are... we are truly observing. So what we observe from the Titan X ecosystem, pretty much from the moment Eric started building Dragon X, you saw that people were willing to fill up gaps and inefficiencies, or making things there where it's needed. And since everything is going so extremely quick right now, it's hard to keep up. So at this point, we're just observing, seeing what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't try to fix something that doesn't need fixing. So instead of now saying, yeah, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and 2 weeks from now, X will fall away because of something that happened, we want to be adaptive as much as we can. At the end of the day, the biggest thing is to make sure that it benefits the whole ecosystem. And it's not easy, especially when the development on Titan X is literally on light speed. It's literally warp speed. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, Pulse Chain was explosive, what happened in the beginning, but nobody was organized. And now you see the same people doing the same things, but now everybody's organized. And for me, literally the sky is the limit right now. The amount of innovation that I've seen. Take Element 280, for example. Dude, I hated NFTs with a passion. I'm not even joking. I literally hated NFTs with a passion. And now I love them. Now I instantly see the power of NFTs, that it's literally a representation of something. But we needed people to make that representation come together with immutable code, with innovation, with all these things. And yeah, I would never in a million years thought I would see 5 years of crypto innovation that I've seen in the past 5 years take place in 5 weeks in Titan X. That's literally what we saw. We saw literally 5 years of crypto innovation be put on Titan X in 5 weeks. It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, and it's not even really slowing down. I think
No.
with everything coming out, all these new ideas, people are just taking bits here and there and forming even better, tweaking them to perfect them. And I think I'm really excited about Shogun, because the way Jake speaks about it, it's gonna use like elements of Element 280 in its tokenomics. So, I mean, that proves alone that there's these things that people are creating and coming up with that are all kind of forming into and building on top of everything else. So, like you said, I think the sky is literally the limit. I mean, who knows where this is going to go? If the user base continues, the builder base will continue, and this innovation surely is not going to slow down. So,
no, but what I find mind-boggling is that the amount of attention that Shogun and X28 gets, or the lack of attention, to be honest. It's like they want Titan X all over again. Everybody's fading it. Haven't you learned anything yet? It's clear that this guy doesn't bring something out if it's not perfect almost. And he thought the same thing with Titan X. Had to learn small things to make it better. Now he has literally a year of experience under his belt, and he comes out with X28 and Shogun, and nobody's talking about it. That is mind-boggling to me. I really do not get that shit. I mean, I don't care. The more I can pay, get in early. So if you all want to fade it again and make the same mistake twice, I'm all for it.
I mean, I think it's difficult to understand how much of an impact going omni-chain would actually have for Titan X. What do you think the roadmap's going to kind of look like for when that happens?
The thing is, we're now in a part of the bull run or the crypto cycle that pretty much all the fundamentals that we knew, or all the TA that we've been doing, pretty much goes out of the window at some point.
Okay.
I've seen it before. It doesn't matter what. So if that's the case, and this is truly coming out at almost the perfect time, I mean, his timing could not probably be any better than this. It literally could be one of the best looking charts in crypto. If you time this correctly, you pretty much have no downside because we now have literally helicopter money coming in again.
Yeah.
It's coming again. And
Yeah.
if we are truly within this momentum shift where the world economic system is now going to be ruled by proper businessmen. So we have Donald Trump, Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant investors, creators our current history have had. And they are now starting to take over the economic system and start bringing in efficiencies. If he can make this system 50% more efficient, you could literally 10x everything. It's
Yeah.
just like that.
Like that. Yeah.
People have no idea how much change that could be happening in the upcoming 4 years. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. I did a tweet yesterday, and it was that everything's kind of feels like it's lining up perfectly.
Yeah.
Because if you look inside the Titan X, we have X28 coming out, we have all these projects coming out, and then you zoom it out to the bigger picture, we have the first pro Bitcoin president ever, who's so good for the economy. Like, you even saw he was sworn in and everything, or yeah, he won the election, and then everything just started pumping.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that he's coming back. What do you think having Trump as the president again is going to do for the economy and for crypto?
A lot, even though I think it would have happened anyways. So realistically, in my opinion, it would not have mattered if Trump won or Harris had won. We probably would have eventually, over time, would have exactly seen the same thing.
Yeah.
I would not expect this big green candle on BTC if Harris had won, but eventually it follows the money cycle. If the M2 money supply is what dictates pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And the second thing is they own everything that has value. If you own everything that has value and want your value and want to maintain your value, you need inflation. If they would truly go into deflation right now and make money expensive, everything they own would go down in value. No way in heck that they're gonna let that go by. They own 90% of the world and they need it to be worth more. The only way they can make it worth more is by inflation. So at some point in the near future, the helicopter money start going again because they want to feel that gain in value over time. And the only way they can achieve it is by printing money, inflation.
Yeah.
It's the sad truth, but yeah.
It does feel like such a broken system, though, when you have alternatives like Bitcoin, where it's just capped, and especially when the average person can't afford stuff because there's so much money being printed, it's diluting everything, it's making all the prices go all the way up, and you don't even really know what for. It's not that transparent with how the government spends it. I think hopefully I think Elon's doing the efficiency, the Department of, what was it? The Department of government efficiency. It like spells out Doge. But yeah, he's going into that, which I think would be huge. Because like you said, if you can just increase the efficiency by 50%, everything 10x's, everything does well.
Yeah.
All crypto, hopefully all Titan X, everything. So, I mean, the next 4 years are going to be absolutely insane, I think.
Yeah, and besides the gain in value of everything, I think people will change a lot. So the only way you can have prosperity or people that are willing to give is when they have something to give. The reason why we as a society are in the place that we are is because they kept on taking money away from us. So you could never be prosperous. If you're never prosperous, you will never give. So everybody is now just literally fighting for their lives, not realizing that everybody is literally on the edge of a cliff. Just
Yeah.
doing your regular 9 to 5 job, you're hanging on the edge of a cliff. We're literally constantly following that carrot, thinking you could reach success. But over the 40 years that you work, or 50 years that you work until your retirement, that carrot is still at the same distance away from you.
Yeah.
I got scammed into the whole savings thing. So when I was little, everything was about banking, saving. It was in schools. You were giving piggy banks. You were given toys that could organize your coins and your paper money, and it was all about saving, 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 saving.
Yeah.
Then you start working, you start saving your money, put it in a banking account. You set yourself a goal. I want to buy X, Y, or Z. For X, Y, or Z, I need an X amount of money. Let me start saving to get to that X amount of money, and then I could reward myself. Well, we're now living in a society where it takes 10 to 20 years for you to save the amount of money that you need to buy something. Then, by the time you're actually there, that thing you wanted to buy, let's say it was $20,000, now $100,000. You're again
Yeah.
$80,000 short. Saving your money 20 years long just to find out it's only worth a fifth.
Yeah.
It's all a scam.
It's all a scam. It's insane. Yeah. I'm really into Michael Saylor, and he talks about, the buying power is just being reduced at such a huge level. And normal people, it's why crypto is going to be, I think, adopted by everyone, because it's going to be the only store of value, or one of the only stores of value, where you can actually keep your wealth and maintain it. Everything else, you're just losing buying power. Your bank account's going up, but the rate of inflation is going up way higher. So, I mean, for normal people, it's so difficult, because even for like my dad, for example, he just saves and saves and saves and saves. No investments, just saves everything in a bank. And I think just throughout COVID, they printed like over 50 or 60% for the first 2 years of the entire money supply.
Correct.
So his buying power just got diluted to an insane
60%.
amount. Yeah, to an insane amount. And it's why, I mean, but that's when it comes back to crypto, it's why it's kind of a no-brainer, because this is the way out. This is like one of the only
means
places
to an end.
Yeah. And I think that's why, especially Bitcoin, I think more people are going to see Bitcoin as the store of value, because obviously you have gold, but I think, in my opinion, Bitcoin is a better form of gold. It's more liquid. You can send it anywhere. You can self-store it. You don't need to pay taxes to have it, or pay for it to be stored somewhere. Yeah. And I think in the last 100 years, all gold has been seized by some form of government. So it's the kind of the custody of having it as well. What do you think the future kind of holds for having?
As long as we can keep that consensus that it is value, because it's the same as a Van Gogh painting. The only reason why it's worth millions is because some motherfucker is willing to pay millions for it.
Yeah.
So as long as we keep that alive, Bitcoin has a place in the world. But there could always be an instance where the world is not what we think it is, and then it's literally worthless. In that case, gold would be more worth than. So as long as we can keep that consensus that it's actually worth something, and we keep on giving it the value by putting our time and energy in it, sure.
Yeah.
My whole goal is pretty much self-sustainability. So for me, it's Fiberville. We call it Fiberville. We used to call it Hexaco. It's pretty much the only way to go. It's unfortunate that people just see it somewhat wrongly. When I talk about being self-sustainable, doing your own gardening, putting your own energy into yourself, everybody is like, yeah, but then I don't have TV, then I don't have a washing machine. No, that's not the case. You still have all the amenities that you are having now. But there's one important thing that people need to realize. You work 10 hours a day right now, and only 4 hours are for yourself. Every day you work 6 hours for the government just by taxations. Your income tax, your property tax, your spending tax, if you all combine it, your saving tax, only 40% is yours. Almost 60% goes to the government. So if you are capable of sustaining your life the way it is right now, going on holidays, buying everything you need, with only 40% of your economic energy, what do you think you could do when you have your own compound or your own village and 100% of your economic energy that you put in is actually for yourself? If you can maintain your life right now by only being 40% efficient, what do you think you could achieve if you're 100% efficient?
It's a very good point. It's a really good point. And I think that's where a lot of countries that have these high taxes and all this things coming out, and people aren't seeing improvements. They're just choosing to move to other countries where there is that sustainability that they can have as an alternative. I think it's going to be a really interesting future. Yeah, seeing what happens, because as crypto gets bigger, I think people are going to have more choice to maybe, if they want to leave their home country, they can. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what the governments have to do to kind of keep people in and not move to somewhere better. Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, you go.
We want to do everything individually now. When I grew up as a child, everything was literally about sharing. Not everybody had a television. When I grew up, I was actually the only one in my friend group that had a television or had a telephone or had a CD player or a cassette deck. This was all new. But we shared everything. We didn't have to own everything individually, especially if you only use something a couple of percent of the time. So back in the day when I was younger, we had 2 cars for the whole family, and everybody could take the car. Now we have 4 cars per family. Most people have more cars than there are people in the house. That is an amount of inefficiency that is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
As a community, you could literally own a yacht that is worth millions upon millions of dollars. You could still have that lavish life that you want. We can't all be on it at the same time. Why not own a yacht with 100 people instead of just one? If you truly want to own a yacht, I don't care anything about a yacht. Give me a tractor or a Kubota or an excavator or a workshop where I can actually build shit with my own hands. Dude, you will never see me. If you give me a proper workshop, you will never see me again.
Yeah.
I'll be working every single day.
I think it's such a cool idea. I think it really, for me, it attracts me, having the idea of working, gaining value, and then going and building like you said. So you've got like the dream is like a compound where everything's self-sufficient. I love that idea where you can be out on your own, and especially as the world probably gets more crazy as we get older, it would be a nice way to just kind of be self-sustainable and not need to worry about whatever's going on. Because for me, I mean, I'm from the UK, and whenever there's new government similar to America, there's huge swings and things going crazy. So if you have that out where you can have sustainability, I think that's the dream. I think that would be. Do you think that's your end goal through crypto?
100%.
Yeah.
I've been so 4 years ago I got a lot of pushback. Now not so much anymore. So 4 years ago I was literally arguing with hexagons, and they were all like, "Yeah, but I got all the money." I said, "Dude, if there's no banana on the shelf, what are you gonna do with all your millions?" They control the energy. They control the food source. They literally control everything. And that's the reason why you are controlled. The only reason people are controlled is because you are dependent on them. When you remove that dependency, you're free. It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
I got my banking account canceled. I got my credit card canceled. I got my savings account canceled. Lost tens of thousands of dollars just because the banking system said, "You know what? I think you're doing something that we think you should not be doing, so we're gonna cancel everything. Just because I was in crypto, they
Really?
canceled everything. No, I'm not even joking. I lost a lot of money, just poof,
That's
out of
yeah,
nowhere. And they are just, and well, it's also because I'm from the Netherlands. People don't realize how communist and socialistic Europe is, and people don't realize that 99.9% of all the regulations, pretty much worldwide, comes from the Netherlands. We are
really.
literally the baker of pretty much every regulation you know in the world. It's insane. People have no idea.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
a
do
small country. It's a
yeah.
powerhouse in the world. Yeah.
Do you think from everyone, like your old friends and everything, do you think them discovering crypto has been quite good for them then? Does it attract people in the Netherlands quite a lot, or do people not even choose to understand it?
There's a big adoption in the Netherlands for crypto,
Yeah.
but it's not the people that you would love to see in it, unfortunately. I wish the younger generation would be way more adoptive, even though we see that movement coming. I mean, the accessibility to crypto is going so fast.
Yeah.
8 years ago, I had a wallet for every single coin.
Really?
I'm not even joking. If you wanted to
Yeah.
hold Monero, you needed a Monero wallet. If you wanted to hold Link, you needed a Link wallet. If you wanted to, every single coin had its own wallet.
Yeah.
And then the amount of hoops that you needed to jump through, because just owning that wallet didn't mean you could buy that coin easily. No, you had to jump from exchange to exchange to exchange, from coin to coin to coin to actually get to the coin you wanted. It was a nightmare, a literally nightmare.
Yeah.
Now it's just a press of the button. You can buy anything. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming.
And it's only going to get more efficient, hopefully. And I mean, crypto as a whole is so small. I think it only has the same amount of users as like the internet did in like 2000. Like
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really small. So I think there's going to be worldwide adoption, and us being here early, especially in something like Titan X, which is, in my opinion, quite groundbreaking for ideas, innovation. I mean, I just feel lucky. I feel lucky to
Yeah.
be here this early for sure.
I
I mean,
mean,
sorry, go on.
yeah, no, we could be at that hockey stick moment. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't thought we could be there already, but seeing Trump and Elon Musk now creating
Yeah,
this narrative for the next 4 years, yeah, we could be in that hockey stick moment. I
yeah,
remember my first mobile phone. I was 22 before I got my first mobile phone, and I was one of the first ones. Nobody pretty much had a mobile phone. By the time I was 23, everybody had it.
yeah.
So I went from being one of the few that had a mobile phone to looking around and everybody has a mobile phone in just 2 years. I
It's
think we
really,
should be close with crypto pretty much the same way. It can happen so quick.
yeah. I'm not prepared, I don't think, for how, because Jake talks about it. It's like how crazy crypto can just move and just
Yeah.
blow all your expectations,
Yes.
because there can just be that huge wave that comes in. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
yeah.
Well,
Can we quickly
I
go
just
on
want to
to
see everybody succeed.
yeah,
That's the only thing. I just want to see everybody succeed, be rich, be healthy, be capable of supporting their family. If we can
yeah,
reach to that point, we're actually in a position where you could start building without concerns or without pressure.
yeah. Yeah, hopefully that all happens.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Going on to Morpheus. How do you feel about, obviously, so it's cycle, is it cycle 11 already?
Already, yeah, just ticked over.
Wow. Oh yeah, just ticked over. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you feel about the launch, how it's running so far, and yeah, what are your thoughts?
Beyond expectations.
Yeah.
We truly set our expectations really low. We did had a good feeling about it. I mean, we put in a lot of work. We made sure that everything was correct. At the end of the day, you gotta put in the work. It's exactly what Jake is saying. You could build the best thing in the world, but if you don't bring it to people's attention, then you still have nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, creating Morpheus was the first step. But what people did afterwards, the support that we got from the community that is bringing it out there, yeah, that's what it pretty much all made it happen. And if you would have told me, yeah, by the end of the mint phase, you will get 2.2 trillion Titan X in it, what is the current value? I would say you would be out of your mind. I would, like, literally.
Yeah.
We were happy if we could have even reached 1 trillion. And
Yeah.
that was for us already a way up there number that we were like, nah. But yeah, doing this amount is, yeah. And
It
it's
is great.
again all because of the community.
Yeah. And you're taking Titan X off the market. Obviously, having more adoption just means more Titan X sent to. Is it the Dragon X Vault you guys are sending to?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I mean, it meets the ethos. People are loving it, obviously. I think it is crazy seeing all these projects being launched with crazy adoption.
Yeah.
Like crazy adoption. It's really, really cool.
220 billion Titan X in the vault.
Yeah.
220 billion.
It is crazy, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? So, for people that don't know, Morpheus is basically has a huge buy and burn, and that's
Yes.
going to be carried out, and then future stuff is going to be built on it, and there's the roadmap for Morpheus. So,
Yes.
how do you feel? Because obviously, how much is in there? Where's the balance?
We have about $1.5 million value, I think, maybe $1.4 million right now in the buying burn.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1.4
million. Yeah, which and the market cap is only, where is it? Have I gone past it? Oh yeah, Morpheus here. Yeah, 2.8 even.
Yep.
So basically half the market cap is in the buy and burn currently, which is crazy.
Mind-boggling. Yeah, it's bonkers. Yeah. And this is at current value. And we are literally in no rush. We want to do everything as good as we can to support Morpheus and the whole ecosystem. So if there are things we could do in the future or not do, then we'll do it. And the same thing is with the buy and burn. We are in no rush to spend all that money, especially when you take into consideration that the dollar value of Titan X can still go bananas. So if Titan X does a 10x, there's $15 million in the buy and burn. Why rush?
Yeah. Is that kind of the strategy? Yeah. Is that going to kind of be the strategy behind Morpheus? Just kind of a slow sponge for the buy and burn that's going to slowly be distributed out over the entire bull run. That's going to just appreciate in value.
Yeah. When we started with Morpheus, our primary focus was, funny enough, the bear market. What can we do to mitigate as much negative externalities going towards the bear market?
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from, in this case, BNB. BNB was pretty much the only one that was capable to survive a proper bear market and actually create a price floor that is about 10x higher than everything else. So BNB only went down about 70% in the bear market, while everything else did a 90% plus. The difference between minus 70% and minus 90% plus is a 10x on your back. People don't realize that little bit of from 70% to 90% is literally almost, I think it's an 8 point something. Yeah. But it's almost a 10x your back. So if we can take that into consideration and try to make sure that we can create a higher price floor by, let's say, have your coin not going down 90% or 95%, but only 70%, then your bag in the bear market is not 100K if it goes down, let's say, 95%, but $1 million. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
And we're here for sustainability, longevity. It needs to support our families. I mean, The only reason why we do it, at least for me, is my kids. Once I got my kids, my whole world changed. Literally,
Yeah.
it's unexplainable. And especially when they got older, and when they are actually interacting with you and telling you how they view the world, I was like, oh, I need to jump in here, because the world that they have right now is not the world that I got. And I
Yeah.
think as a dad, it's my responsibility to give them a world better than that I got it. And now the world is 10 times worse than I got it.
Yeah.
So my goal in life is literally now to make the world a better place for my children, because I want to have them have a better world than I got it. I was literally free. I grew up in the 80s. And if I could invent a time machine right now and put the whole world back to the 80s, I would. You would have a
Really.
freaking blast. Everybody was free. You could do literally whatever you want. I could take my dirt bike, ride it off across the road, and literally a cop would drive next to me and start doing wheelies with me. That was the 80s. I'm not even
Yeah.
joking. We could literally just go in the middle of the village, start making a campfire, and then the fire department came by with the fire truck and a case of beer and sit there with us for hours drinking beers. I'm not even
Yeah.
joking. The world has changed so much, and I want to give a world to my kids the way I had it, where we were pretty much truly free, where we could do
Yeah.
whatever we want, where police was actually there to guide you, not to police you. If I did something stupid, and trust me, I did a lot of stupid shit in my life. I've spent literally almost 2 years of my life in plaster. That's how many bones I broke.
Really.
I'm not even joking. Yeah, I pretty much broke every bone in my body
Fr-
multiple times.
From what mainly? Yeah.
Funny enough, I did dirt bike riding a lot for years. I did karting.
Yeah.
I did free running, but I broke pretty much every bone playing soccer.
Really.
Yeah. And my wrist was from BMX riding. So I did a lot of BMX riding before I started dirt bike. I think I broke my wrist 5 times just trying to ride the front wheel on your brake and then overdoing it and then roll over, catch yourself on your wrist and break them both. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but life was
I've heard.
amazing back then. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. It is. What do you kind of think about the future then? Do you think it's not right, and that the world that your kids are growing up in is not where it should be at all?
No, I think life should be risky.
Okay.
You should always be challenged. We are now living in a bubble wrap generation where literally,
Snowflakes.
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
That's why we have
Yeah.
all these soy boys. There's no accountability. There
Yeah.
is no risk whatsoever. You never put your life on the line. You don't need these people nowadays probably don't even know what adrenaline is because they never got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, in my opinion, I think life is about risk. If you don't take risk, you're going to be stuck doing what everyone else is. And like you were saying, that 9 to 5, 40 years is, for some people, it might appeal to some people, but I think for most, it's like, you're never going to reach your goals doing that, really.
No.
Because, the way everything's set up, by the time you have savings, it's worth nothing.
Yeah, exactly. The only way you can grow is through failure.
Yeah.
You cannot learn something if you do not fail in something. If you do everything right, coincidentally, you have learned nothing.
Yeah. What is some advice then that you'd give to, because I'm 21, so I'm quite young.
Good.
And what's some advice you would give to your 21-year-old self?
Ooh, that is hard because my world at 21 back then was a completely different world than your world is right now for the same age.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. I would say be autodidactic. I think that's the biggest thing you could do. Teach yourself. So autodidactic. So I've done a lot of studies in my life, but all as more of a hobby than actually achieving a goal. When I was 17, I started with structural engineering. I did that for a year, and then, well, actually 14, 16 months or something. But once I got into the second year, a couple of months in, it was like, didn't I already do this? And then day in, day out, just keep rehashing the same thing over and over. And I said, I already know this. Can we just do something? No, no, no. You already were taught everything you need to know in the first year. Now we're just making sure that you won't deviate from it. That's the only thing it is. So it's more indoctrination than actually education. So I went through another school. I went through automotive engineering, and that was an eye opening for me. I had way more freedoms, way more things I could do. So I did that actually for 2.5 years, and then I got bored again because I wasn't learning anything new anymore. It was just rehashing. I don't know, man. And then I went into electrical engineering, and I only did that for 3 months. That shit just didn't want to click with me.
Yeah.
The electricity thing and the magnetic thing. Now I love it, and I wish I had put more time into it back then. But yeah, come to think about it, if I would go back to my 20-year-old self, I would tell myself to dig in deeper into physics, deeper than I already did. And instead of doing science as a secondary, do alchemy, chemistry.
Okay.
If you understand chemistry and alchemy, you rule the world. There's a reason why all the stories are with the alchemist, Merlin. All the magicians were alchemists. If you understand alchemy and chemistry, you could literally change the world. Because everything that we now use as a drug is synthesized nature.
Yeah.
So every drug known to men, every medicine known to men is synthesized nature.
So you think, just educating yourself on
Educate yourself. Be
physics.
autodidactic.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, my brother's he did physics as a master's at university, and it's fascinating speaking to him about it because he's way smarter than me. But it's really, really interesting.
Love to talk to your brother, man. That's my main focus. It's physics. I truly love physics, and the reason, or it's also the reason why I hate science so much, because science today is not science. That's the whole problem. So science is pretty simple. Science is the observation of a natural phenomena. Based on that phenomena, you make your thesis. Within that thesis, you describe your observation and your presumed cause. And then you, as a scientist, have to manipulate that presumed cause to observe the perceived effect that you described in your thesis. That is called the scientific method. This is science. If you do it at home, at your kitchen table, you are per definition a scientist. But we live in a world where the whole world is now ruled by theoretical science. And the only person that is allowed to have an opinion upon it is the one that has a master or a PhD. That makes no sense, because the true definition of a scientist is somebody that is willing to do an experiment and is able to repeat it. That's the definition of a scientist. No paper needed. None.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a really good point. When it comes to kind of space and the physics in that aspect of things, what is your belief? What do you kind of think? Because I love talking to people about their perspective on, obviously, in Titan X, everyone's into the numerology stuff. What is your perspective
I
of?
love numerology. The world is
Yeah.
run by numbers. It's just pretty much that simple. I went into Gematria about 8 years ago
Okay.
and pretty much never left it. And the more and more I go into the numbers, the more and more prevalent it is. And I recently found out that if you truly know your own numbers and put your energy into the direction of what those numbers are supposedly telling you as a universe, you are way more efficient. I found out about a couple of years ago that I was doing things that were not in line with my life path of numbers or how my numbers were set out in this matrix. And once I started actually focusing my energy on the things that go along with my numbers, things just took off.
That is really interesting because
Yeah.
I think, yeah, in Titan X especially, people are talking about that more now than kind of ever. But what did you
Yep.
find personally? What did you find? Do you mind speaking a bit more about that? What do you find
Yeah,
personally?
sure.
About
So
that
I'm an
happens?
8. So
Okay.
my life is an 8. There's big things with it. So first, I'm either going to be extremely wealthy or extremely poor. I'm going to be extremely successful or extremely, because it's an 8. Everything I do will come back to me. So
Okay.
if I do not do good 24/7, it will bite me in the ass, literally. And that's what I found out. I could do good for years and years and years and then go off the deep end or something out of anger or envy or whatever it is. And I do one thing that is against my own nature, or let's say in general could be seen as bad, I would have
Yeah.
7 years of bad luck. That shit would bite me in the ass and I would be cursed for the rest of my life. So once I
Yeah.
realized that, dude, just be yourself and just be you, things will come towards you. And that is really what I've been doing for the past 5 to 6 years. Just be good.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be generous by nature. Nobody is a born racist, or born negative, or born evil. It's all taught. Everything we know in human nature is taught. By
Yeah.
nature, you are loving. By nature, you are caring. By nature, you are sharing or willing, or all these other negative externalities, exceptions, always there, of course, are all
Yeah.
taught. We are creatures of habit. So if they teach you the wrong habits in the indoctrination camps called school, then you got a society that is completely docile, dormant, obeying to authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad world we live in, to be honest. And it's time we take it back.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like we're going in the right direction now?
Yes.
I think the last few days was the
Well, the
big
last few
catalyst.
years, yeah.
Okay.
When COVID happened, I thought, no way, there's no way they're gonna pull this shit off, because we knew it was coming. We were warning everybody that it was coming and what was coming, and still they didn't believe me. That's the funny part.
Really?
Yeah,
What were
I've been
you?
predicting pretty much the past 10 years to a T, and it's not that
Really?
I'm predicting it. It's because they tell you. They literally tell you what they're gonna do. They literally tell you what the plan is, what the roadmap is, the time they want to do it in. But nobody's reading. Everybody's just walking in, across the street, watching their telephone all day,
Yeah.
going from news psyop to the other psyop.
Yeah.
But if you actually read and go to the World Economic Forum or the World Health Organization and really go to their website, they are literally telling you what they're planning to do with you. And it's not pretty.
What's the prediction for the future? If you're right about everything that happened with COVID, where do you think it's going?
I mean, I hate to say those things up loud, well, on the air. I have
Okay.
no problem telling this in the green room, but
Yeah.
if 2030 or Agenda 2030 is actually going to be achieved, then we will pretty much live in a controlled socialistic, communistic reality where everybody is, yeah, just controlled. We'll be literally a slave within the system.
Yeah.
So
It's
in
like
the
a
green
matrix,
room, I can
basically.
go over a lot of things because
Okay.
the things that I can, the things that I found out in the past 21 years of going down the rabbit hole, people are not
Yeah.
ready for that information. It's not to put myself on a pedestal or something, but people are literally not ready for this information. People are not ready to be unplugged from the matrix. People are not ready to get into an uncomfortable situation and take life and reality for what it is.
Yeah.
They just want to be pampered. They just want to be taken care of. They don't want to take any risk for themselves. No accountability whatsoever. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah. After the stream, I'd love to speak more about that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
should
yeah.
we get back to Titan X?
Yeah, man.
Because we went on a bit of a tangent. I mean, that's really, I find this stuff really interesting. Then, to be honest, I mean, okay, so yeah, going back to Titan X, what do you
Yes.
think out of the projects that have launched so far? What has surprised you the most? With we were talking about innovation. What do you think has been the biggest step forward that you've seen in crypto in the Titan X ecosystem?
Well, first off, Dragon X. Nobody
Yeah,
saw that one coming. Nobody thought could be ever achieved what he did or successful. And it took some time for people to realize what he was actually doing. And then
yeah,
they took it all over. Then I think the second best thing was probably Vault. I think Vault changed a lot of people's perspective on how to do things, especially liquidity. What they did with the liquidity was literally mind-boggling to me. I could
yeah,
not believe that we went from 10K to a million in under a week. That was just literally mind-boggling.
yeah,
And then the third thing I would say would be Element 280. I think the way they revolutionized, or not really revolutionized NFTs, but truly made people see how an NFT could create utility just by being a representation of something. The
yeah,
same way as Uniswap V3 has an NFT or Uniswap V2 has an NFT, it is a representation of something instead of just being a JPEG. I think that's really big and revolutionary, and it's gonna probably evolve way further because other people are gonna observe it, see it, and say, you know what? What if we change this little thing or that little thing? And
yeah,
then, so yeah, I think Volt, so Dragon X, Volt, and Element 280 are pretty much. And then another thing is Inferno. The way Inferno came out with MemeFi and the whole thing, it took off.
yeah.
So if we would
It,
say the four big things on Titan X, it would be Dragon X, Inferno, Vault, and Element 280. I think also in that order, pretty much.
yeah.
Because, yeah, something like that. And then
Someone needs
everything
to
that
be,
comes afterwards is just extra. So it's
yeah,
like Volt was the rocket, and
yeah,
then Element 280 was a rocket booster that was added, and then then the scale came and was another rocket booster added, and then the pillars came and another rocket booster was added, and we just keep adding rocket boosters to the rocket. So yeah,
it's,
exciting times to
yeah,
be
yeah.
alive.
Just pulling up, this is the Element 280 website. I think one thing that I'm so surprised about is how much they've actually burnt of every single project.
Insane.
Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. They burnt 15.5 billion Dragon X. I don't even know how much that's worth. That's like 100 and I don't even know, 150. It's more than 150k, way more than 150k.
How
It's
much
like
is it?
200k.
15
15
billion?
billion Dragon X.
Yeah, that's about 15K now, I think. We're around one, no?
I think it's more. I think it's 150. But all they're doing this for all the projects, which I just absolutely love. I think Element
Yep.
280, like you were saying, is something that no one expected. No one even thought about. The way that dude designed it, and now it's come out and it's supporting everything. It's going to be huge. And I think there's only a few days left to mint. I think 1 day and 18 hours. So, and after that, it's deflationary. So I'm really excited to see what happens after that point.
After this stream, I'm going to buy another one. Dude, I literally went from no NFTs to holding multiple NFTs right now. It's insane.
I was in the same boat. I was in the exact same boat. Is where you have, I don't know if you were in last cycle when there was that whole NFT wave.
Oh yeah.
With no utility. It was just pure, just
Daybreaks.
Yeah, just it was really, really weird. But yeah, after that, I was like, I'm not looking at NFTs anymore. But I think since then, after what dude's done, it's bringing a whole new
right
like vision to what NFTs can do. Especially, have you heard about his E369, his new project that he's going to be releasing?
I did. Listen, give me a second. I need to fix this camera because now I'm gonna see double.
No worries, that's fine. I'm a life path 8-2. Nice. No risk, no story. True. So true. I think that's one of the things why everyone's in crypto. You really have to risk, obviously, your finance to be able to be in a position better than everyone else. Otherwise, you'll just keep your money in one place and it's not going to do anything. Mo's in the chat. Let's go. There are 3 different streams right now. So many streams. Mo, we need to do another one soon. For sure. Share on socials. Yes. Everyone share. Hi, Mo. Yeah. For everyone that's missing what E369, you back? Yeah, your camera's better.
Yeah, I'm back. So that looks a whole lot better.
Yeah. So yeah, E369. What do you think? Have you got to grips of what it is?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a quick pitch.
Of what it is. Please do.
Yeah.
Please do, because
so basically,
just don't have the time.
It's gonna be when you go into it, you're gonna put Titan X in, and that's basically gonna go to the auctions on Flux, and it's gonna participate in the auctions like a user. So every day they can set the amount of what they put into the auction, and in return they get Flux. That Flux they get, they're going to be max staking or staking it. I'm not sure if it's a max stake or not, but they're going to be staking it to get Titan X rewards. As the NFT holder, you're going to be constantly getting rewards of that Titan X, but it's actually going to be Titan X, Inferno, and Element 280 that you're going to be getting as rewards, because that Titan X they get is going to be split between buying all of those and rewarding NFT holders.
So it's pretty much farms put into an NFT, sort of. Does that sound like?
Sort of, yeah. Basically, from holding it, you're going to benefit. And it's also going to be backed by a token, I believe, similar to Element 280. So if you want to, you can cash out as well, which is going to be interesting. But I think it's a really, really cool concept. And yeah, the dude just keeps bringing more stuff. I think him and Utah as well. Utah's in the chat. I think they're working on they're working on something as well that they're building, which dude was telling me about. It sounds awesome. Like genuinely sounds huge, which is really, really cool.
I'm excited about X28 and Shogun. I really want to see what he comes up with. I mean, if you can come up with Titan X and you're telling everybody that hasn't or not to down talk Titan X, but if that Shogun is going to be a development or a better Titan X, then dude, what can we expect? I'm excited as fuck, man. Dude,
I'm excited to just see the white paper, because we've heard Jake talk about it and all these different things, but I'm excited to properly, because I think a lot of the time for these projects you have to kind of reread over the white paper to really get it into your head on what's going on. I think that's what, especially X28, because obviously I understand the whole concept to go on omni-chain, but I want to understand how it's done and how big it could be.
Same.
Yeah,
because there are different ways to do omni-chain, and from what I've heard, what we have talked about, it's pretty much something that it's going to be burned at one end and then reminted on the other end, and therefore creating the omni-chain. I think it's going to be big.
I think
If you can, yeah.
for Titan X, it could be huge because the only way you could get X28 supply is through using Titan X, which is obviously only going to make it more scarce. I think Utah said his new project is going to be called Stacks, and it's going to be built on top of Element 280.
Is that stacks from what we know from the gold? I think there was a project called Stacks somewhere else. It was gold related or something. Is that the similar or?
I haven't heard of any of the projects called Stacks, I don't think. But built on top of Element 280, that's going to be so interesting.
Yes.
Because I think Element 280 is going to do, after this mint phase, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Something built on top of it, leveraging it. Yeah, that could be insane. Definitely.
The whole thing, you don't have enough Titan X, is going to get a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
Because I'm already getting anxious on, I need to stop putting Titan X in protocols because Shogun and X28 is coming.
Yeah. There's too many projects now. I feel like before maybe a few weeks, a few months ago, you could kind of keep on top of all the new things that are coming out. But now it's like there's too many things going on. Yeah. And you don't want to miss any opportunities. So you want to be participating in everything, but there's not enough Titan X for you to you have to keep buying more. Yeah.
I mean, there's a metric shit ton of supply out there, but there's no new supply coming back into the system, at least not a lot. Yeah. And with the amount of protocols that are just gobbling up Titan X by the trillions, it's And then X28 and Shogun is going to blow everything out of the park if it comes to burning Titan X. Then, I mean, 1 + 1 still equals 2. So if you can't see the writing on the wall, then I don't know what to tell you.
Well, when do you think Jake will launch X28 and Shogun? When do you think is the best time?
I do have, based on geometry, I don't know if okay, you know what, I don't care. So I think X28 is going to be the 11. And I think Shogun is going to be the 28. And the reason why I think so is because Jake is a 22 as life path.
Okay.
1111 is 22. So 1111 for X28 would make sense to me.
This month? You think this month?
This month, yeah. That is like literally 5 days from now, 4 days now, 5 days, yeah.
I thought it'd be months.
Yeah, and then this is just going off of numbers. He doesn't have to use these numbers. It's just me playing around with numbers.
You know, he's been thinking about these numbers as well.
Sorry?
You know, he's been thinking about these numbers for launch, though. So it's a good strategy.
And also the number 11 is a representation of, how do you say that? Expansion, rebirth. Okay. So if you go into the numbers, then it could all make sense. It doesn't mean it has to be that way, but November 11 would make sense for me, since he's alive by 22. 11 is a master number. There's a lot of things going with it for gematria wise or number wise. He said it was going to be quick, way quicker than people think. He was pretty much done waiting on audits. So everything could still fit within those timelines. So if you put a gun to my head right now, I would say 1111 for X28 and then 28 for Shogun.
Yeah.
But I didn't really do a deep dive. Yeah.
Yeah. I would personally, I think you'd wait for more users, more green candles, because to really expand to go omni-chain, you need more builders. But I mean, we do have a lot of builders, and there's already a lot of people talking about moving their projects and moving with X28. So it could be a perfect time.
Yeah. I mean, there's a tidal wave coming, and I don't think he wants to wait too much longer. I mean, yes, we still have at least 6 months left in this, if not more or way more. Timing is important. You want to be solidified before the movement start, not be halfway in the movement, because then you're pretty much mid-curving everything. So you can mid-curve as a founder or as a buyer. So, and we always say within crypto, don't be the mid-curver. Well, that counts for founders as well. You don't want to be a halfway cycle and come out with something, because the only thing you will achieve is an insane pump and then a dump and never return again. So timing is everything.
Have you spoke to the Morpheus team about potentially going omni-chain and following X28, or because for me, I'm just waiting to see what happens, to be honest. But I know obviously Eric said he's going to be. Yeah, you're the same. Yeah.
Just wait, observe. If there's nothing that needs to be fixed, don't fix it. If it works, it works.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Yeah.
And if something needs fixing, then fix it. Then come up with a solution. It's that simple.
Yeah.
People always want to overcomplicate things.
Yeah. It's a good point. Right. So we've been going for about an hour and a half now. I think we should wrap up. Is there any kind of... Yeah, I know. How quick does that go?
It doesn't feel like that.
It's so quick. Yeah. Is there any kind of final message you'd want to leave for the people watching?
Support the ecosystem. At the end of the day, it does not matter which one you go into. Just support what you like. Do you like dragons? Go to Dragon X. Do you like baby dragons? Go to baby Dragon X. I mean, there's literally some. If you love bulls, you go to Inferno. If you love aliens, you go to Alien X. If you like the Matrix, you go to Morpheus. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which protocol you support. You support a theme park called Titan X. So support what you like, or otherwise it goes away. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But
good point.
Morpheus, not financial advice.
How long's left? How long's left until the end of the mint?
4 days.
4 days, yeah.
3 days?
So guys, not long, and then fully deflationary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 1.4 million in the buy and burn at the moment, and the market cap is 2.8. Insane. And that's only going to grow. That's only going to grow as Titan X grows. So just something to consider. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. And Aaron, thank you for taking the time.
We haven't even talked about Phoenix. We need to do another stream.
We'll do another stream, when it comes
We're
to
doing another stream. Let's go.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, guys. See you later.